What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a classic story video. Hope you guys enjoy. Drop a like if you do, and I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. Let's get right into it. So, I got a gun pulled on me. Now, this is the first time this ever happened to me. This was the first time I'd ever even seen a real gun in person, because none of my family has guns in the house. You know, none of my friends really carried guns, and this was a spooky experience for me. So this happened a really fucking long time ago. Like, I'm talking over a year and a half ago, approaching 2 years ago now. It was in my junior year of high school, but it was before I went to the alternative school. It was like, I want to say maybe October of that year. And it was me, my boy Kevin, and another dude who we're going to call Zach. Now, Zach is someone who I don't think has ever appeared in my stories, and the reason being, we didn't hang out for very long, and this is what caused us to never hang out ever again. So, basically we called up my boy Chris, and Chris is the one with the super dank garage, nice smoke spot. His older brother's the plug, and we'd all sit in his garage, smoke blunts. I call up Chris, I'm like, yo, I'm with Zach and Kevin, can we come through and smoke? He's like, yeah, come through, go ahead. So we go over there. We're all chilling there. We're smoking blunts. We're having a good time. It's me, Chris, Kevin, and Zach just chilling in the garage, smoking blunts. And Chris's older brother is also in there. He's the plug. He's serving some stuff. And some of his older brother's friends were also there as well. They were also friends with Chris, and I knew them as well. So, I was cool with all them. But, on this particular night, I was not cool with them. And the reason being, they had some Xans. Chris's older brother had a bunch of bars, and he was serving them for really cheap and basically just handing them out like candy. So, Chris's older brother and all his friends popped a bunch of Xans. I don't know how many Chris's older brother took, but it was a lot. I took a bar as well, and Chris took a bar. Kevin and Zach did not take any bars, and I was already baked. We were all pretty baked, so, it was nice. And, I don't know if Chris's older brother was baked or what, but he got pretty fucking barred out. And he ended up losing a zip of weed. Now, for someone like him, that doesn't really happen. The guy's super organized from what I've seen from him. He always knows where his weed is, but he was off the bar. Can you really blame him? I've lost so many wallets while I was zanned out. I can't even tell you how many wallets I've lost, or IDs or debit cards. I lose something. Every time I pop a bar, I lose something. So, I understand how it happened, even though that is pretty significant. How the fuck do you lose a zip? He managed to do it. So he goes looking around the house, he's storming around, he's kind of pissed, and he didn't directly tell us what he was looking for. He just kind of started rummaging through some shit, and then he ran in the house. We didn't think much of it. We just figured maybe he was looking for his phone or some shit. We didn't really know. And maybe 15, 20 minutes go by. He's still in the house. We spark up another blunt. We smoke that. His older brother's friends are still in the garage, so they had a blunt as well, so they matched us. And these guys are older, they're a generation ahead of us, they're some older dudes, but, still not too old where it's weird to smoke with them, just significantly older than us. So, they decide to throw a blunt in the air with us. We get a big roto going. We got some fat blunts going around. There's maybe, including Chris's older brother and all his friends, maybe about 7 of us in total in the garage. And, we're all just smoking blunts. It's a good night. And finally, Chris's older brother comes back out. And he's pissed. He is visibly angry. He walked out in this way where I just looked and I was just like, oh, shit's about to happen. What the fuck? And he stands up, he walks to the other side of the garage, opposite of where all of us are sitting, me, Chris, and, just my homies, where we're sitting. And he's like, all right, I'm missing a zip. One of y'all motherfuckers must have took it, because no way, a ghost just took that shit. Y'all need to run your shit right now. So we're kind of standing there, and we're frozen, we're like, what? And he even ran Chris, he even ran his own brother, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what? What the fuck is going on, dude? What's happening? I thought he was kidding at first, because the dude has quite the sense of humor. So I kind of sat there, and then, he reaches into his waistband, the classic Chicago maneuver, just up some sort of illegal weapon out of your waistband, and he pulls out a 40, and I'm like, okay, and if this was a random dude, I would have thought this guy's either not going to shoot or this is an airsoft gun. But knowing Chris's older brother, this guy's fucking scary. This guy's off a Xan, and that gun is most definitely real because I've heard about it. And on top of that, knowing this guy, he would not have a fake gun. Like, this guy is fucking spooky. So I was like, all right. So he tells us to empty our pockets and put all our shit on the table right there. Now, I was kind of confused. I was like, wait, is he robbing us or is he just searching for the zip? Like, I didn't really know what was happening. And on top of that, I knew this motherfucker must have been insanely barred out, because how could you not see or smell if someone stuffed a fucking ounce in a Ziploc bag in their pocket? Like, you can't really hide that. So we all emptied our pockets. All I had was like my phone, my wallet, lighter, pack of blunts, little bit of weed, my car keys. I threw them all over on the table. You know, everyone else ran their shit, put it on the table, including Chris, and we're all standing there. He tells us to line up, and he has his homies pat us down. Now, you know, he was with like 2 or 3 other homies. They come and pat us down. You know, they pat us down thoroughly. Like, these motherfuckers made sure. And sure enough, he pats us all down. Nothing on any of us. Nobody took the ounce. And he gets closer to us himself because, you know, Chris's brother was kind of sitting back while his friends, like, patted us down. So he kind of walks over and he's talking to us and he's, like, closer to us and he's still got the gun pointed at us, you know? And he's, like, he's explaining how, like, I know one of y'all took the zip. Like, that shit doesn't just disappear. What the fuck? You know, where the hell's my zip? One of y'all better tell me right now. Were y'all on some sneaky shit? And Chris is trying to tell him, like, dude, none of them took your ounce. You've been out here smoking blunts the whole time. And even his friends were like, yeah, I don't think they took anything. They've been out here the whole time, you know? And Chris's older brother was just kind of like, you know, very thoroughly convinced that one of us took his ounce. So, you know, he walks up to Zach. And Zach is like really new to smoking, not really a kind of guy who you could see in this situation. And he's terrified. He's like trembling. Like, you know, Chris's older brother is asking him questions. He's like, you know, do you want to get shot tonight? And like all that shit. He's just trying to be really intimidating. He's explaining how he would like kill him and then get out of jail and like kill his family. Just like some crazy fucking shit that like should not have been said. And I'm just kind of standing there and I'm still off of Xan. So like I'm calm emotionally, but like mentally I'm thinking like, oh God, like what the fuck? You know, what is this? Like what the fuck is going on? This is fucked. I'm kind of scared right now. So, you know, he's talking to Zach, and Zach is just trembling. Like, he's fucking terrified. Like, I don't even blame him. You know, this kid barely smoked. Like, you could smoke him up on a 10-sack on 5 heads, and he'd get retarded, you know? So, I was like, all right, this guy's new to this whole thing, and his first time ever coming over here, and his, like, second time ever hanging out with me, he gets a fucking gun pulled on him. Like, this is kind of fucked. So, then Chris's older brother walks over to me next, and he didn't talk to Chris, and he didn't talk to Kevin. He walks over to me, and you know, he's kind of like looking at me and he's talking to me, giving me the same spiel or whatever he gave to Zach. And he's like, yeah, I'll kill your whole family. Or I'll kill you and then get out of jail and kill your whole family. You know, all that shit. And he puts the gun up to my mouth. And I'm like, all right, okay, hold your horses. This is kind of fucked. He didn't do this to Zach. Like, what is this? And he holds it there for a couple seconds. I didn't even say anything. I just kind of looked at him. I was just like, I mean, like, what else could I have even possibly done? Like, I'm not, you know, this guy's off a Xan. Realistically, I'm not going to sit there and be like, please don't shoot me. Like, I'm, you know, just going to stand there and see what happens, I guess. So I just kind of stood there. I just kind of froze up. And then eventually he points the gun away from me. He takes it off my mouth and he turns it around and like hands it to me. And he's like, look at this shit. This is a real 40. There's no bullshit in this. And he pulls out the clip. And sure enough, he's like, these are hollows in this bitch. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is fucked. And he's like then explaining to me how a hollow tip would affect me if he shot me in the mouth. He was like, that shit would go through you. And as soon as it hits your body, the tip bursts open and it'd fuck your shit up. And I was just like, okay, this is fucked. Please stop telling me this. I don't want to find out, you know? So I'm kind of sitting there and I'm like, he hands me the gun. He's like, look at it, you know, like with the clip in it and everything. Like this man was very clearly off a Xan. And I'm kind of looking at it because this is my first time ever holding a gun. This is my first time being in this kind of situation. I was just like mind boggled. Like I couldn't even comprehend how I should have been feeling at that time. I was just, all I knew was I was high and I popped a Xan and I was kind of barred. And I was now holding a gun and a scary fucking dude was very angry at me and he owned said gun. So like I was just kind of like okay, what the fuck, you know? So I'm looking at it and I hand it back to him and I'm like, I just said, damn, bro. Like, I didn't even have much else to say. I was just like, damn, you know? So I hand it back to him and he's like, yeah, man, that's not no joke. And, you know, after that, it was still like really tense. He put the gun back under his waistband, but he's still talking to us and he's still pissed and he's still asking. He's like, where the fuck is the ounce and all that shit? And he's explaining, he's still going on about how he's going to kill our families and shit. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? You know, this is kind of, okay. Like, all right, this is a scenario I didn't want to be in tonight. I just kind of wanted to get high, but whatever. And Zach is still just nervous as fuck. He's just like trembling, you know? He's just fucking terrified. So, you know, we sit back down and we're kind of like sitting there, but we wanted to leave, but we also didn't know if we could leave. And our shit was still on the table. And finally, you know, Chris is like, you gonna let us get our shit back? And his older brother's like, yeah, go ahead. So, you know, we went and grabbed our shit back. They didn't take anything out of it. So we all got our shit back. We sat down. We waited a little bit. We were still really hesitant to leave because, like, we didn't want to piss him off in some way or like make him think like, oh, they're dipping, they must have it or some shit like that. So we stayed for another like hour and a half after this happened, and we just kind of sat there awkwardly, not doing shit. Like, we sat in silence, just like listening to him talk and ramble on while he was off a bar. And finally, Zach is like, you know, I really got to go home. You know, my mom needs me home at so-and-so time. I'm already late. And Chris's older brother's just like, all right. And then, you know, I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I'm going to go with him. I don't want to be in this situation. So, you know, I kind of say peace out to Chris. I'm like, peace out. He's like, see you later, bro. And, you know, me, Kevin, and Zach, we all get the fuck out of there. You know, Chris's older brother's friends said peace out to them, said peace out to his older brother too. I was just like, all right, catch y'all later. You know, they were just like, all right, you know, peace out, bro. And, you know, after that happened, you know, I remember the next day, I came back the very next day, and I was the only one who came back because I'd known Chris and his older brother for a long time, and I knew that that was not normal of him. I knew that that was something that was caused by him being barred the fuck out. And, you know, I came back, all his older brother's friends were there again. His older brother was in the garage. He recalled none of it. His older brother recalled none of it. He did not remember. Like, he didn't believe it when Chris first brought it up. He was like, you remember putting the gun up to Nick's mouth? And he was like, what? Like, he was like, what are you talking about? You know? And his older brother's friends also chimed in. They were like, yeah, that was fucked up, man. You didn't have to go that far with those kids. They were young ass kids. Like, you don't gotta go that far with them. They didn't do nothing. So, you know, what ended up happening from what I heard from Chris was that he did end up finding his ounce, and it was like, I guess he dropped it in the corner of the garage behind like a chair or some shit. And, you know, he eventually like started to believe that he actually did it. You know, he called me into the room with him. He went inside, you know, back to his bedroom, and he's like, yo, come in with me, you know, and he waved Chris in too. So me and Chris went into his older brother's bedroom, and he kind of sat us down. He was just like, look, y'all, you know, I don't remember doing none of that. I didn't mean to do none of that, and I apologize for it. He was like, that was fucked up of me. That was some stupid shit. I shouldn't have done none of that, you know? So I was just like, it's cool. You know, we're good. I don't mind. I mean, I understand. It was kind of fucked up, but I understand. You know, you were barred the fuck out, you know, and not like you've ever done something like that to me before. So, you know, as like a little apology, he gave me a couple grams, you know, some pretty good weed, and I got baked for free. So it was still a situation that was not worth it. That was really fucked. You know, I don't ever want to be in that situation again, nor do I want poor Zach to be in that situation, because after this night when we went home, I never hung out with him again. I literally haven't seen him since that night. He never contacted me ever again. You know, Kevin did. Kevin's been in a ton more stories since that, but, you know, Zach, on the other hand, he was fucking spooked. He did not like it. So, you know, it was quite the interesting night, to say the least, and pretty fucked. And that was my first encounter getting a gun pulled on me, let alone holding a real gun. That was like a pretty wild night for me, you know? And I was pretty barred, thankfully, because I feel like if I wasn't barred and I was just high, that would have been horrible. I would have been nervous as fuck. I would have been terrified. But like, because I was barred, my emotions were just like numb. I was just standing, you know? So thank God for that. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.